Hello YouTube, this is Terrell. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, 2012. This is an update warning video, March the 22nd. March the 22nd is our event day on the first quarter of this cycle. Well, it actually goes from the first quarter to the second quarter. This is the center of the near-side alignment, the center of near-side orbit. It happens on March the 22nd, and I've looked at the times and found a pattern I want to share with you guys. First of all, this is my original March 22nd warning video that was made on December the 28th. This video that's running is right here, and this is where you can see more information on the astrology, on the charts, things like that. March 22nd, this is going to be a big day for certain. This is going to be a big day. Even if there's no heavy mass object, this is going to be a big day. But March the 22nd just happens to be the day of an alignment, not only with a heavy mass object, but with other things. I'll show you that in a minute. I went back to the time, February 27, 2010. This is Chile, 6:34:14. And then I looked at the time for the Japan quake that happened last year, March 11th, 5:46:24. There's a pattern here. Okay, I took the times, and I realized that there's 189 days minus 47 minutes and 50 seconds in this cycle. Now, if the solar system is a giant clock and it has movement, then we're going to see a pattern here. And the pattern says that we're going to have an event at 4:58:34 March 22nd UT time. Okay, so now I turn the solar system scope to this time and look at the moon and look at the Earth and look at Mercury, look at Uranus. When you turn this sideways, look at the planetary alignments that we have going on here. Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. All kinds of alignments going on here. This looks like a magical day that we have, even with the moon involved. And what this does not show, according to the astronomer reports, then this is Jupiter line right here. The heavy mass object is coming in at this angle like this. It's right through here, and it's coming directly in a line, just like last year, except for instead of Fukushima on March 11th, March 22nd is the day, because we're spinning everything around 11 days and a little bit. That puts a heavy mass object right about here, if my calculations are correct, which is going to add to this alignment. And in that case, then we're going to have a giant event. Now, the way that the Earth is turned at that time, the exact way that the Earth is turned 2 years prior has caused this event with the Earth axis shift of 3 inches and this event with Earth axis shift 4 inches. Telling me that whenever, see, the heavy mass object is now closer, and the gravity trough that's being enhanced here by this alignment is going to be that much deeper. We could be looking at a 5 or 6 inch Earth axis shift, March 22nd at 4:58. See, the Earth is traveling around this way, going, well, it was at perihelion around here going 67,000 miles per hour, so it's now slowing down. So we're between 66 and 67,000 miles per hour going this way. We're crossing right between the sun, this trough that's already formed, and the heavy mass object. Now, if there's a star right here, adding to this enhancement, big giant event, big giant event, big giant event. People need to be away from the seismic zones. Now, I'm hearing that people think that this event is going to happen up by Alaska. Well, that would be the place to guess, because the other corners of the Pacific Rim, the Ring of Fire, those other areas are all moving in there, and the up by the Aleutians is stuck. Well, I think that pattern is going to continue. I think the Aleutian scenario is not going to play out here. If it does, that event will be 10 magnitude or larger. I don't think it's going to. I think that area up there is still stuck. The most likely, the highest candidate for action in this cycle is going to be in the Pacific. I could just about for sure say it's going to be in the Pacific. However, I believe that it's going to be down near New Zealand. That area has been moving a lot, but the thing to realize is that with Chile, and with Japan that we had swarms associated. So in the days leading up to March 22nd, you're going to see swarms around the affected area. If those swarms are up in the northeast, then you expect a giant event. If they're down in the southwest, then expect that's around New Zealand, then expect that where it's going to be. But I'm looking for a 9.2 down in that area, a 10-pointer if it's up in the north, if it's in the northeast, if it's between California and Alaska. Okay, you can get more information at terralo3.com. You can subscribe to my newsletter here. It comes out every Friday right into your inbox. And you don't have to wait for a radio show. We have 3 or 4 radio shows a week now going on, and that's going to continue as we get closer and closer to the event. With George Soros coming out, remember George Soros is the pimple on the backside of Rothschild. Whenever Rothschild has a statement to make, he uses Soros, somebody like that. He's kind of like what Fulford is, Benjamin Fulford, what he is for the Illuminati. Whenever they want to spin a story, they send him out. Whenever George Soros comes out, like he is right now, bantering, then it's pointing towards something. And what I believe is that this event that's coming up at this time is the focus of their attention. March 22nd is an Illuminati day, 322. Okay, I think they know about this event that's coming up. Now, I'm not saying this is the end of the world or anything like that. Fukushima was not the end of the world unless you were in Fukushima. You know what I mean? But this is going to be a gigantic event. And people, especially with people like myself, Lucas is on board with, as a matter of fact, for some reason he thinks that I'm using his research. I don't care. I have gone to his rabbit hole website, but that's what it is, a giant rabbit hole. No, I do my own research, thank you. But other people, Nine Nadia, we've been talking. She's put out warning videos too about 322, just like she did last year for 311. John Moore, a lot of people see 322. So even this fellow right here, he sees 322 as a big problem. He doesn't even see the heavy mass object in the equation. He's predicting an 8 magnitude event. I believe it's going to be a 9+ magnitude event. For sure, this is going to be a 9 magnitude event. It could be a 10 magnitude event if it's up near Alaska. But it's not the end of the world or anything like that. It's not even that we're going to be able to see the heavy mass object. The heavy mass object is super cold, and if it is a black dwarf, then remember it's theoretical. They do not have instrumentation on this planet to be able to see the thing. For some reason, scientists think there's planets out there that are orbiting nothing, when in actuality, the stars that they can't see. There's stars that are under ignition, like our sun, and there's stars out there that are dark stars. Remember too that the first dwarf star, the first brown dwarf, was officially discovered in 1995 because they are very, very difficult to see. Black dwarfs, theoretical. They can't see them. So if we have a black dwarf coming in here, that explains why they can't see it, and we're seeing the giant effects. Remember Jupiter's core liquefying. Saturn got its recent superstorm passing in front of the Leo constellation. It happened 30 years ago. 29.5 years is one Saturnic year. The last time Saturn had a big storm, it passed in front of the Leo constellation. The Earth, Chile, passed between the Sun and the Leo constellation. Fukushima last year passed between the Sun. The Earth passed between the Sun and the Leo constellation, but just a little bit farther towards Virgo. 5.5 days every 188. Remember. So the pattern of seismicity, the magnetics of our planet, the activity of the Sun, the overactive Sun, all pointing to the fact that it looks like we have a heavy mass object coming in here. Now remember, the most likely scenario for lockdown, the geopolitical guys that are on my radio show, on the panel, Cossack and Deacon John, they're pointing toward a convergence of the programming. When you see the hard-boiling of these stories, when you see George Soros coming out, and he's hard-boiling this stuff, that means there's something coming. You're seeing a convergence in the programs. Remember, this is not about Obama. He's a puppet. This is about the Council on Foreign Relations, and when they are ready to pull the trigger on their programs. Now, with myself and other people, the researchers talking about this March 22nd event 3 months ahead of time, right? And I'm going to continue putting out warnings about this. I've sent information to Russia Today. They've done 3 stories on me now. They need to do a 4th one. And they need to warn people, get out of the seismic zones for this day. Get out of the seismic zones. I'm going to keep telling you, get away from the seismic zones, particularly in the Pacific. But this event can happen anywhere. It's just high probability being Pacific because of the way the Earth is turning at that moment at 4:58. Then the likelihood of being a Pacific event is very, very high. Very, very high. Okay, it's probably going to cut across a diagonal between New Zealand and Alaska. Exactly where it's going to be along that line, I don't know. But those are the high probability points. Okay, big time warning, March 22nd. But you don't have to wait for a radio show. You can come to our Pal Talk room. And that's where we spend a lot of time, right inside of here. This looks like just a simple little box. Not many people here. We have hundreds of members. And we stream all of our radio shows through here. We share links on information. When a big quake happens, you see it run right up this board here. When the sun's acting up, or whenever the geopolitics, when a new bill is under consideration, whatever, we see it going up the board right here. We're keeping our finger on the pulse. What's happening? You're welcome to join us. Go to paltalk.com and download Pal Talk Messenger. This is just like Microsoft Messenger. And go under Education and then Other, and you'll find Daryl's Research Group. Hit the join button, join the group, and then enter the room, and you'll be right here with us. And you can come right to the mic. So I've got it disabled right now, but you can come right up to the mic, raise your hand, go up to the mic and ask your question, and we'll do our best to help you guys. So that's the substance of this video, the March 22nd warning. The time has been narrowed down to 4:58, and we want to try to help people to wake up to what's happening. So be aware, March 22nd, 4:58, early in the morning. And you guys take care.